Hey guys, what's going on? This is Shadow, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be bringing you an Evil deck profile. Now, this is an older style deck. This is one of my older decks. I've had this for a few years, but one point in time, this was one of the best decks that you could have about 6 or 7 years ago, and it just has a special place in my heart because I also like dinosaur decks, and this was considered one of the fastest dinosaur decks, I guess, that you could get, other than the new dinosaur support that came out a couple years ago. I've always loved Evil Swords because it's cool because they have to where it's an Evil Tile, which is a lizard, which evolves into an Evil Sword dinosaur, and then the Evil Czar, which is the big guy, the dragon types, which can be special summoned through the effect of the Evil Swords. Alright, so without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started, but before I do, please make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and click that notification bell so you are aware of any new content that I come out with, including deck profiles or test hands. And I just want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. By the time that this comes up, it'll be Thanksgiving. I hope you guys stay home, stay safe, and just, enjoy yourselves and eat as much turkey or whatever that is that you guys want to do. Alright, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to be showing you is 3 copies of Evil Mega Trella. This guy came out just a couple years ago, and he really helped the deck go off. What he does is, you summon him, and then by tributing him and discarding a monster card, you can special summon a level 6 or lower Evil Sword monster from your deck, which is really good because if you use that to special summon Volcano, you can set up for your rank 4 plays, because if you have the level 4 monster in your graveyard, you special summon Volcano effect activates, and then you can get a level 4 and go up for your Dulka or your Logia. So he's really good, and he also has another great effect where you banish him from the graveyard, and if you have an Evil Zor XYZ monster on the field, you can reattach materials to it, which is really good, because the idea of this deck is for you to be able to use that to the negate effects, the special summon effect, and everything, and just kind of shut them down quickly. Okay, we've got 3 copies of Najasho. Now, Najasho is great because Najasho, when it gets tributed, you can special summon an Evil Sword monster from your deck, and by combining him with Evil Force or Evo Instant, you can insanely get 2 special summons for the price of 1. So that's really crazy because you can tribute him by using Evil Force or whatever, and then you can special summon an Evil Sword monster from your deck, and then with his effect, special summon an Evil Sword monster from your deck. So it's win-win. And then I've got 3 copies of Evil Tile Westo. You don't have to play Westo if you don't want to. I personally do because I actually like his effect. It's a flip effect. Special summon an Evil Sword monster from your deck. There's really nothing that's the downside about it, and he has 1900 defense, so he is good by himself. But mainly is you special summon special summon the Evil Sword monster from your deck, which is really good. Like I said, you don't have to run any of them, or you can just run 1. I run 3 because it doesn't, in my deck, doesn't lose that consistency, and I'm still, he's still valuable. Okay, they got 1 copy of Evil Tile Lago Jusho. And I apologize if I butcher that name. I just have 1 copy in here because of the fact, when he is normal summoned, I can send an Evil Sword monster from the graveyard, so he's basically a Foolish Burial. And when this card is flip face up, which you won't be using the effect that often, you can special summon an Evil Tile monster from your deck. So mainly I use it to dump an Evil Sword monster from my graveyard, and then just set up for a rank 4 play later on. And then that's going to be it for the Evil Tile. Here comes the Evil Swords. And I've got 3 copies of Evil Sword Serato. Now, this guy's the beat stick because when he's special summoned by the effect of an Evil Tile monster, he gains 200 attack. And then every single time he destroys a monster by battle, I can add an Evil Tile monster from my deck to my hand. So he helps with the consistency of the deck. Then I've got 3 copies of Evil Sword Volcano. This guy is kind of like the MVP of the deck next to Mega Trella. And what he does is when he's special summoned through the effect of a Evil Tile monster, mainly this guy right here, you special summon a Evil Sword monster from your graveyard, and it can attack, but you're going to be using it to special summon a level 4 to get that play off, so you can just mess up your opponent. Then with that, I've got 3 copies of Evilsaur Diplo. Diplo is really fun and good because he destroys backfield when he's special summoned by the effect of an Evil monster. So he's a really, really good card to have. That's why I've got 3 copies of him and everything. And I've got 1 copy of Evilsaur Darwino. Darwino is good. He isn't as consistent and as flexible as the other Evilsaurs in this deck. Mainly what he does is he modifies levels. You're going to want to use him just to modify a level 4. Level 4s to make him a level 5, just so you can set up for your rank 5 Exceed play. But mainly he's just in there for that. The next one is a little bit more valuable. That's why I've got 2 more copies, and that's why I just knock them down to 1. Or if you don't even want to use them, you don't have to even use them at all. I do, though. I just use at least the 1. Then I've got 2 copies of Evilsaur Elias. Elias is actually really good because when you special summon the effect of an Evil monster, you can special summon a level 6 or lower fire dinosaur turret monster from your hand. Meaning if you have a copy of him in your hand, you can special summon those and then set up for a rank 6 play for the big guy or whatever you would want to do. There is easier ways to get the rank 6 out, but that's just one of the other ways to do it. Plus, you know, he is actually good because he's got 2400 defense if you wanted that for the defense. And then I run 1 copy of Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. He's really good because he's a beat stick. You just banish 2 dinosaur type monsters to get him on the field, and then he flips all your opponent's face-up monsters in face-down defense position and can attack all monsters your opponent controls, which is really, really good. And plus, he's a beat stick. He's 3500 attack. I only have 1 in here just because you don't want him in the opening hand. You want to see him kind of like in the next couple turns, mainly so when you have more Evos in the graveyard, so you can start using that effect for it. Plus, since this isn't a full dinosaur deck, it's like half and half. You only need the 1. And then last but not least, the 1 copy of the Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I just have the 1 in here because you only need the 1. I don't know why it looks bad. It's not really on camera, guys, I promise. You only need the 1 in here just because he's a fire type, so it kind of goes with the theme a little bit, but also you just want to be able to stop your opponent from doing too many crazy moves and everything, so if you can at least stop that one thing, that is helpful. And with that, that's going to be it for the monsters, guys. So next we're going to go on to the spells and traps. There's a lot of stuff for this. Alright. Guys, so the spells and traps, first we're going to go through the spells. You've got 3 copies of Evo Diversity. This is just the searcher and the extender. You just add 1 Evil Tile or Evilsaur monster from your deck to the hand. You can only activate it once per turn, but it's good because if you have it in your opening hand, you can add a Evilsaur or Evil Tile to your hand. Mainly, if you don't have this guy, you want to add this guy to your hand so you can activate that effect quickly and get that rank 4 play. Next, I've got 3 copies of Evo Force. This is what I was talking about with the Tribute effect to kind of combo it out. You have Najasho on the field, right? You summon this, and you play Evo Force. Then you Tribute Najasho to special summon an Evilsaur monster from your deck, which has the same effect as being special summoned by the effect of an Evil Tile. And not only that, Najasho's effect will activate, allowing you to get a special summon again for a Evilsaur. So you get 2 for the price of 1. Then we've got 1 copy of Evo Price. You don't have to run this. I kind of like this because it's a fun little tech card. Once per turn, if a monster is special summoned by the effect of an Evil Tile monster, mainly if you special summon like an Evilsaur by the effect, you can destroy 1 card on the field, and it's a continuous one. So I think that it's really cool, and it's just a kind of cool little tech card to have. And now next, we're just going to go with the staples, as I call them. Heavy Storm. You don't have to run Heavy Storm if you don't want to. You can run Harpy's Feather Duster or anything, whatever you want. I just have this just for backfield destruction. Swords of Revealing Light to stop your opponent for 3 turns. 1 Foolish Burial, just so that you can speed it up and you need something in the graveyard, you can put it in there. And then last but not least, 1 Call by the Grave, just to stop your opponent from doing too many crazy things to remove a card from their graveyard from play and everything so they can't activate the effect. Alright, and then that's going to be it for the spells. Now we're going to move on to the traps, and there's only 5 traps in this deck. You only have to run the 3 Evil Singularities that I have. I just have the 2 Evo Instants because they work pretty well. So you got 3 copies of Evo Singularity, and target an Evil Tile monster to add an Evilsaur monster from your graveyard, special summon 1 Evil Czar from your extra deck. So it adds and makes them kind of like the material. And with that, Solda, you can use this to special summon Solda a lot easier than using the Elias combo. So this is the best way to get this out, because you can target an Evil monster and add an Evilsaur monster in your graveyard, and one Evilsaur in your graveyard and special summon an Exceed material for it. So I mean, it's really good because it gets Solda out on the field, and Solda is just the beast in this deck when you do get him. Okay, then you get 2 copies of Evo Instant. This is another way to bring out special summon 2 for the price of 1. You tribute a reptile monster and special summon an Evilsaur monster from your deck. So it's pretty simple. Alright, next is going to be the extra deck, guys. So we've got 2 copies of Evilsaur Solda. Solda is the best card next to Dolka in this deck, because he's 2600 attack, and he cannot be destroyed by card effects while it has X-Ray material. And when your opponent special summons a monster, which is what they're going to do, you can detach it and from this card to destroy that monster. It doesn't negate it, but it does destroy it, which can still be just as good. And he can't be destroyed by card effects, which is as long as he has material. So you're going to have material on him and stuff. Next, we've got 3 copies of Evolzar Logia. Now, Evolzar Logia I've got 3 copies of because he's one of the easiest Exceed monsters to bring out in this deck, and you just remove 2 materials from him if a monster would be normal special summon or trap would be activated, you can negate the summon or the activation, and if you do, destroy the card, and you just remove the 2 materials for it. And then if you have Evotile Mega Chirella in the graveyard, you can banish him and then use those 2 Evotile or Evilsaur monsters as fuel again to activate his effect. And then 1 Evilsaur Dolka. Dolka is just like Evilsaur Solda and Logia. You just remove 1 material from it. During either player's turn, when a monster effect activates, he negates the effects of monsters. The other one negates the effect of normal, special summon, and spell and trap by removing 2. And then Solda cannot be destroyed by card effects, and he negates destroys special summon monsters. So it's kind of easy to remember. And then I got 1 copy of I've been saying Evo so much, I swear. Take a drink every single time I've said Evo in this whole video. So I've got number 61, Volcasaurus. He's actually really good because he's the one that's kind of different. He's a rank 5, but he can be brought out, especially with Darwino. That's what I use Darwino for. And once per turn, I can detach a material from this card and target a face-up monster, destroy it. And if I do, inflict damage, so he does burn damage and he destroys the monster based on their original attack. I can't attack directly that turn, but he's good because if I'm not able to attack by some reason, then I can just activate the effect, do burning damage, and then just, hopefully that can help me win the game. Put this up there. There we go. Alright, so I've got 1 Costel, and you're probably like, why do you even have 1 Costel in here? This deck mainly has lots of level 4s in it, which is why I have that in there. And he can send back cards. And, he can switch cards back in defense position or whatever. And he can target a face-up card on the field, shuffle it into the deck. So he's good for that reason. He can shuffle monster back in the deck or card back in the deck, and he can switch the opponent's battle position. So that's why I still have him in there. Alright. I've got 3 copies of King of the Feral Imps. I use him mainly just to get more evil tiles into my hand if need be. Plus, he's a 2300 beat stick, still nonetheless, so that's mainly what I use him for. Got 3 copies of Grenosaurus. You don't have to run Grenosaurus. I kind of do just because he's a dinosaur. He's the original dinosaur, the OG of the, dinosaur Exceed monsters, and I like him because he's a 3-star. And believe it or not, I actually do have 3-star monsters in this deck, like Westos and Lagusucho, so he actually does work. And then last but not least, for the link support, 2 Doolittle Chimeras. I still like the Chimeras because there's an additional 500, and it makes Solda 31, which goes above the 3,000 mark, and it's just fun. You don't have to play with these right here. This is mainly what you're going to want to get used, but these can be completely optional. You can throw whatever it is that you want. This is just what I have in this build because it's fun, and it's just what I have lying around. Alright, so that's it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and once again, this is a really fun deck. Don't get me wrong, and don't get it twisted. It's really a good deck. It's a solid deck still, even at the age that it's at. and you can still do a lot with it. I just find it a lot of fun because, like I said in the beginning, I like that it's consistent and that it's fast and that you can do so much with it. So that's it for the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and just like I said before, stay safe, stay cool, awesome, and with that, see you guys next time. Later.